Here we are again with another Zac Wilson Presents Guitar. Today we're going to learn the 8 fundamental open guitar chords. An open chord is when we use the open strings in combination with fretted strings to create a chord. For instance, the chord A major. The chord A major looks and sounds like this. What you'll notice is that I was fretting the D, G, and B strings. In combination, I was using the open A and the open high E to create this chord. Now, because there were open strings involved, it's called an open chord. We'll get to closed chords later. Now, while you could get a encyclopedia or chord dictionary that shows you several open chord opportunities, different types of chords ranging from major, minor, suspended, a 2, an add 9, a 7, major 7, minor 7, etc. And Lord knows there's plenty of them. We're going to stick to what I consider to be the fundamental 8 basic chords that can be played using open strings. We have 5 major chords. They spell the word caged, C-A-G-E-D, and the 3 minor chords, A, D, and E. Past that, open chords are generically some variation of those, being suspended, or a 7, or etc. But to get other major and minor chords, we would have to use some kind of closed chord, like a bar chord, which we'll get to in another lesson. For now, let's just learn these fundamental chords that will have you on your way to playing thousands of songs. We'll start by looking at that A major chord once again. We're going to go ahead and we're going to place our first finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, and our 2nd finger right below it in the 2nd fret on the G string, and our 3rd finger right below that on the B string, like this. This is a 5-string chord, so we're going to play picking from the A string downward. That is A major. Now we're going to go ahead and go from there into A minor. We're simply going to change one note, but we have to reposition all of our fingers to make that one note occur properly. So here we go. This time on the D string 2nd fret, we're going to use our middle finger, and right below that our ring finger, so that the note below can be played behind on the 1st fret on the B string using our 1st finger. This is an A minor chord. It sounds like this. Already we can hear the difference between major, sounds happy, and minor, which sounds sad. From here we will go to the C chord for C major. This one is a little tricky because each finger gets its own fret, causing quite a wide stretch of the fingers. Here we go. The C chord has the 1st finger on the 1st fret on the B string, the 2nd finger on the 2nd fret up on the D string, and the 3rd finger stretching really high up onto the A string in the 3rd fret. You can see that this is quite a stretch. This is also a 5-string chord. We strum from the A string down. One of the many reasons a C chord can go wrong is our 1st finger. When our 1st finger is on the B string, we don't want it to mute out the E string below. This often happens when this finger relaxes down and touches that string. We want it curled up with a nice curve on this 1st knuckle. If we're down like this, it's going to kill the noise below. That's also true for these fingers up in here. A nice curve on the 1st knuckle versus a buckled knuckle makes all the difference in the world. Do you see how my fingerprint falls down and mutes out the string below versus getting up out of the way? So on each of these chords, you really want to watch out for that very front knuckle being bent out the wrong direction. So that was C major. If you need to see it again, just watch the video over. Let's move along to D. D, we begin with our middle finger on the 2nd fret, little E string. We skip the B string and place our first finger up above on the G string. Then our 3rd finger is going to sneak in between on the B string on the 3rd fret. 2 fingers in the 2nd fret, this finger in the 3rd fret. This is a 4-string chord, strums from the D string down. Now to get D minor, we want this note that was here on the E string 2nd fret, this F sharp note, to flatten out into an F note on the 1st fret. To accomplish this, we'd have to be some kind of contortionist to get this middle finger to lift and jump over there. And since that's not going to work, we're simply going to take our middle finger and replace our 1st finger and allow this one to sneak back here. So it looks like this. This is D minor. Again, minor sounds sad. Now we'll go to E. E major is fairly easy. We take our Spider-Man fingers, see, our Spider-Man fingers, and we're going to go ahead and take these two that are pointing back at our palm, and we're going to place them right here on the 2nd fret on the A string and the D string. Now by adding our 1st finger on the 1st fret at the G string down behind, this creates E major, all 6 strings. Now some of you who are paying close attention will notice that E major and A minor sure look the same but are on different strings. Check it out. Again, here's E major. Notice these fingers together, this one down low behind, that gave us E major. But if we take this finger shape and simply move it 1 string each down towards the floor, it looks the same, but it's A minor. Now back to E major. If we simply lift off our 1st finger and only play the Spider-Man fingers, Spider-Man's favorite chord, E minor. All 6 strings. This brings us to G major, the last of the 8 fundamental open chords. This one is going to have something interesting. Most of our chords were played with our palm facing the ceiling, but now we're going to rotate it more so our palm is facing to the side. We're going to allow this part of our hand to rest the neck of the guitar in. This allows, instead of our fingers going up the guitar, it allows our fingers to go at an angle across the guitar. So by doing this, we can bring our fingers back, and we'll put our 2 little fingers on the 3rd fret on the 2 little strings, stretching our middle finger still in that 3rd fret up to the big bass string, and behind it we will allow our 1st finger to touch this A string. This is a G chord. It is all 6 strings, and there you have it. Well, that's all of our open chords. Until next time, keep rocking.